She shared the photo, stating that a child is more than a cluster of cells and lump of tissue. As young adults engage in premarital sex and married couples refuse to go through family planning, the number of unwanted babies are gradually increasing around the world. For some women, abortion is the only answer to their problem. Sadly, abortion is legal and is a government service available on request for women in some countries. In addition to virtually universal access to contraception, abortion is a way for these countries to contain its population. Some women have their babies aborted for personal reasons. Many of these women claim to abort their babies early during gestation, claiming the babies aren't developed during that time yet. However, Facebook user Felicia Cash wants to prove otherwise. Cash made the brave decision to post photos of one of her stillborn children to demonstrate that even at just 3.5 months gestation, a child is more than a cluster of cells and lump of tissue. Felicia and her husband have been trying hard to conceive for 13 years. They finally made the decision to foster 3 sisters, and they adopted the girls 2 years later. Soon after, they received the remarkable news that they were expecting their first child. The morning after we signed their adoption papers in court, we found out that we were expecting, Cash told Live Action News. 8 months later, our oldest son was born. A few years after that, we were blessed with another. Cash and her husband were elated when they discovered they were pregnant with twins. Unfortunately, things quickly took a turn for the worse. She started experiencing complications about 6 weeks into her term and was forced to go to the hospital with bleeding. They did an ultrasound and told us that we had lost one of 2, but that the second baby looked healthy and strong, she said. We had other scares when bleeding started again and again, but were told it was just due to the first loss and a hematoma beneath the placenta. Unfortunately, the doctors were wrong about the second child. Cash woke up to more bleeding, which was followed by pain. She knew she had to go to the hospital, but before her husband could get home from work, her water broke, and she delivered her son, Japheth Peace Cash, in her home. Holding her tiny baby, who was all of 14 weeks and 6 days old, Cash was taken with how developed the young boy was. Our beautiful Japheth Peace miscarried July 24th at 14 weeks 6 days. He is perfectly and wonderfully formed, right down to his amazing tiny toes and fingers. Even his fingernails are formed and visible, she said. Tiny veins that carried his own blood to his precious body can be seen through his delicate skin, even his wonderfully formed muscles are visible. At less than half gestation he is very obviously human, not a cluster of cells, not a lump of tissue, not a blob of unformed flesh. He is a beautiful child, formed by God, and now gone to be with him, Felicia added on her post.